You claim to be a Christian? Wake up, friends! You're living in a Holocaust. You're living in a nation that murders thousands of babies on a regular basis. Day after day after day, little boys and girls are murdered by their own parents because this nation is living in rebellion against God. God says you shall not murder. It's very clear. And there's never a situation in which he makes an exception for it to be okay to murder a baby. God never says, here's this certain situation in which you can kill a baby. He never says that. He says you shall not murder. Murder is the intentional, unjust killing of a human being. That's exactly what abortion is. It is intentional. It is unjustified. And it is the killing of a human being who is living and growing and developing in the first months of the human life in the one place that everybody needs to live as part of the normal process of growing as a human. The most fundamental right that a human being has is the right to grow and develop in the first months of the human life. You cannot have any other right unless you first have the right to emerge from your mother's body.
What the hell up?
You shall not murder. If you love Jesus Christ, then you will be a voice for the voiceless. On Judgment Day, Jesus will tell people before he throws them into hell, whatever you did not do for the least of these, you did not do for me. Jesus associates with the poor and the weak and the needy people. These people in the womb are your neighbors. He said, love your neighbor as yourself. What would you want people to do for you if you're about to be murdered in your mother's womb? Would you want them to ignore you? Would you want them to say, my body, my choice? No. The body living inside your body is not your body. That is a different body, a different DNA, a different organism growing within their mother. When two human beings have sex, they create another human being. They don't create a lizard. They don't create a raccoon. They create a human being. That is a human being living in the womb. It's not a different being. It's a human being. And that human being is alive from conception. A lot of people say that human beings are not alive in the womb. They're literally using nutrients and oxygen to grow. And you say they're not alive? You are uneducated about basic human biology if you think that these children are not alive. In the book of Jeremiah, the prophet Jeremiah said that God did not kill him when he was in his mother's womb. In order for you to be killed, you have to be alive. Therefore, the Bible tells us that children in the womb are alive. Jesus Christ entered the womb of a young woman when he became incarnate as a man. Jesus Christ himself used to be an embryo. Jesus Christ lived through every stage of human development in the womb so that he could die as a blood sacrifice to appease the wrath of God that burns against sin. Because all of us have sinned against God. We all deserve hell. But God, in his mercy and grace, decided to punish his son, Jesus Christ, as a substitute and representative on behalf of all those who trust in Jesus. Jesus rose from death so that all those who trust in him will be raised to new life on the last day. Everlasting peace with God in his kingdom.